Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Cadilac. I've been gone for a while. I actually went on a trip to the Philippines to see some folks I work with and to meet them and to discuss work, and also to see the Philippines and have an exciting experience. So I was off doing that. If y'all are interested in hearing more about that, let me know and I'll do a video. And I'll share photos and stuff. So, need to know how dedicated I am to this case, y'all. Even though I was in the Philippines and on a break from live streaming my updates about this crazy trial, it's wild. I continued to at least watch recaps so that I could keep up for y'all and update y'all. I know I have several of you who have been keeping up with me, and I really appreciate that. So for those of you who are new here, I'm a Texas attorney. I don't do criminal defense, but I'm like obsessed with watching criminal trials. This is the prosecution of a young man. He's like 32, so he's not like young or old. Anyhow, his name is Jeffrey Williams, but he goes by the name Young Thug. He has some songs I've heard. A lot of people have heard a lot of his songs. He has a huge fan base. I'm just, I'm a little older than him, so I haven't like followed him. Also, I have read his lyrics and they don't make sense to me. And for me, like, I like music without words, because if you put words in them that are stupid or like don't make sense, then I won't like the song, because I'll be like, that doesn't make sense. It'll ruin the whole song for me. So if I'm honest, like, I don't care for his music, but I find this case to be fascinating. So to recap, since I've been gone for so long, and I'm sure without me you haven't caught up or paid any attention to any other sources, I appreciate you so much. The state of Georgia is prosecuting Jeffrey Williams, and now I believe it's 5 other defendants in this trial for RICO, which is racketeering charges. So I went and read the Georgia RICO charge, and I definitely have a video about that, so I'm not going to go too in depth. But it's basically a law made for when the criminals are smarter than the government, and the government can't prove an actual case. So here is kind of a catch-all. I do not like it. I'm proud to be a Texan. I'm happy I live in the great state of Texas. I'm a licensed attorney here in Texas. You can probably see my license behind me. The more I watch this case and this crap that comes out of Atlanta specifically, the happier I am to be a Texan. Man, these RICO charges are awful. Just the other day, so this is not obviously not chronological, but just the other day, one of the defense attorneys for one of the defendants who is no longer part of this trial, she was arrested in Atlanta for gang activities. And I guess she had allegedly tipped off a gang member or something that he should destroy his phone. And then also she has like rap videos on her Instagram. Now I'm going to tell you this. I learned from the YNM Melly and that one guy, what was his name? The guy in the Carolinas that killed his wife and kid. What is his name? They said it weird. I forgot what it was. Alec instead of Alex. Murdoch. The way they pronounce it was so off. Anyhow, I learned from those. And then also accidentally washing my phone. Like, I had it in my bed covers, and I accidentally put it into the washing machine, and before I realized it was ruined. I learned, truly, if you're being prosecuted, you don't want a phone. You don't want a phone. So anyhow, that's not legal advice, y'all. I do not give legal advice on this channel. I just give you like my opinions and stories about stuff I've done. And in this particular series, I'm giving you recaps on what's happened in this Young Thug trial. Okay, so while I was gone, not much happened. I watched like 2 or 3 days of recaps, and then the judge gave them a break, and they were going to be gone on Monday, and it turns out they were gone till Wednesday. So there were really only about like 5, maybe 6 trial days while I was gone. And I have yet to hear any evidence of anything at all. I do not understand what the evidence is. So there was a day, I'm trying to skip through some videos here to try to find this for you. So there's this day where the prosecution has this so-called like gang expert. And I really don't like these gang experts. They really bother me. They're not experts, they're cops. Like, the standard for an expert is supposed to be relatively high. You're supposed to like have written things, peer-reviewed books, etc., etc. But they're letting these police officers be experts. I don't know. It really bothers me. So the expert is shown a picture of it's not an album cover because they didn't make a whole album, but the cover of, I'm hoping you guys can hear me, the cover of like some songs or something that Young Thug did with Future, who, okay, to me, Young Thug and Future sound exactly like, oh, I found it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is crazy. So this is a cover from some kind of, I don't know what they call it, singles release or something. And if you remember, I love watching this young man, Cuff Boys is his YouTube channel. I don't know what that, I've not gone to the beginning. I don't know what that means. But I know he does these great little recaps, and I appreciate it. So we're going to look at Cam. This is his name. This is fair use, y'all. I'm trying to help educate people here. Okay, so here... Okay, this is the cover. Okay, so before we hear... Oh, and I heard that in the comments on one video, someone called him YSL Steele, Brian Steele. And I thought it was hilarious. Also, the last time I was here, I was going to show you these screenshots I took of like these moms on Instagram, and I'm talking like pumpkin spice drinking yoga pant wearing moms, and they have YSL like in their thing, like yoga mom YSL. So I'm thinking the defense should start showing that, like this suburban mom is not in a gang. Okay, so sorry, back to this, I got distracted. So Future, who I believe sounds just like one of them has a deeper version of the other's voice. It's ridiculous. So they did a couple songs together, him and Young Thug. And the prosecution shows this and really makes a point of like, this is gang stuff. Like this is a subliminal gang message or something, you know, like that this is a cry or a call to gang members, so that if you're in a gang, you would see this and you know what to do. It means start wars. I don't know. It was crazy. So now YSL Steele, Brian Steele, is cross-examining this man. And the cross-examinations while I was out were amazing. These defense attorneys are top-notch. This prosecution, they're all practicing, that's for sure. These defense attorneys are top-notch. All right, so let's hear let's hear this destruction. I love this.
In that, you recognize it's illegal. For sure. And there's a thinking of a snake going through the eye of the eagle. Is that fair to say? Yes. And when you look at that, figure it out, any question was, you didn't know me, I asked you, you know, the jurors, that was a gang, and I never were gangs, you remember all that? I don't know, that was consistent with my testimony. You didn't tell the jury last week that there's another item on this wearing 70 that is gang related? It is not inconsistent with what my testimony was. What is, when you told me that, hey, I'm not 70, I'd like to talk about that.
No, that was what his testimony was. It's like the fact that he said that's not his testimony is crazy.
So my testimony was that this was unrelated to time and years. At that time, it was not rules. And that was not because we were trying to use it against the rules. We were concerned that this individual recognized by rules as a legal gun. And that was the one I was being able to work that way. We were investigating for almost 3 years. So at that time, it was up to us. Similar injuries we saw from other members of YSL, 8 rifles on the other side. They made similar injury in the others. The jurors will recall what you said, but do you deny telling jurors that you believed that that was done for a gang message?
That's what he said. Like, that's what I said he said, right? Like, it had to do with some gang signal and it would start a gang war. Okay. Now, but then he, like, completely is trying to backtrack, which is not, it's slimy. It doesn't sound good. All right, so here we go. YSL Steel.
Telling jurors, I'm not an album cover, face cover. You realize that future his was an eagle, right? And that's an eagle, right? It is. Are you familiar with Jeffrey Williams and future doing other mixed tape releases?
Cashapp is currently backtracking a little bit because he realized that he was wrong. That's the way I see this. He's like, oh shit, there's a logo of Futures record label.
Do you have any evidence today that Mr. Williams had any involvement in
So Future's record label has an eagle on it, and Young Thug's has a snake. So the reason they did the eagle skull and the snake was because it was a collaboration between the two. This man is on trial for marketing. This man is on trial for branding and marketing, period. Do I think he was a little bit gang-like when he was, before he was famous in 2011, 2012? Yes. Young, dumb, doing dumb stuff. But then he came up, and now he's not doing dumb stuff. He's creating art. He's a top-selling artist. He's working with Future and making these album covers that are a combination of two labels. But obviously they're they're probably subliminal messaging too. But that's really hard to prove. I guess that's why they have these RICO charges, but I don't like them.
He's backtracking. That's what I'm getting at. He is backtracking his testimony.
And when you look at it, that means somehow stoke. They gang violence. That's what I used to say. Is that true? That is consistent with my testimony that was over 2,000 years. Involved with even thinking about some gang. YSL is a gang. That's what you were focused on when you saw the outcome.
She's gonna object to everything. She'll never let him get any foundation or anything.
Which is exactly why this trial is going to take 440 million years. When I came back, I was catching up on the trial, and my daughter came out of her room, and she's like, "This is still going?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm probably going to be a grandmother by the time this trial's over." My daughter is 11, and my son is 19. I really don't think I'll be a grandmother for like at least 10 years, at least. And I think this trial will still be going. I swear to you. I swear. And the other thing I noticed is like every day, Young Thug and Shannon Stillwell, the defendant with the dreads, the one who got stabbed, they both look heavier. So they're not feeding them. There's something going on. The food is really bad or something.
Any clue as to who both the people in this room represent supersonic system? obviously, indigenous potential to be protected by violence was something we have to be able to mitigate, and so it was unknown to us as investigators.
That's actually a good point from Brian Steele that it could just be a graphic designer just doing his job. Like,
Exactly. They have no evidence that Young Thug said, this is what I want. And like that Young Thug's out here orchestrating these things. It is wild. Okay, so the YSL Steel here just really kills it. I mean, he goes through these tweets. There was some like super jam, blah blah blah, which I don't know what that was. I'm guessing some kind of like show with lots of acts or whatever. Okay, hold on. So
the judge sustains every single objection. It is quite annoying.
It
There's
is.
just some moments in this trial where the judge just seems like he's a little bit leaning towards the prosecution. Now, when the prosecutor is up on redirect asking Detective Bill on that.
okay, so this prosecutor, she's probably like the only one that isn't the worst. Like she's the best one. She's the only one. She's the best one there, and she's not that great. But she makes, I don't know, if I was a juror, I'd be pissed. YSL Steele, Brian Steele, had asked him, have you ever investigated a country music artist? Because it does show some bias to me. And also it shows that art isn't really prosecuted in the United States. Like, that's not something we do. So, anyhow, then the prosecution moves back to this video. Now, this is why I do believe Thug was thugging. I just don't believe he's doing it now.
So he said sex, money, murder, something, 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 black.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so he says sex, money, murder, I'm the BEO. Which, if you recall, they're not allowed to say C because it's the Crips and they're the Bloods. So they replace the C with a B. So basically, after that guy was destroyed, and he was destroyed, then there was no more trial. Then there were a couple days where I believe the jury was called in, and they sat there all day. The jury sat there all day, and all they did were motions, which means the jury wasn't seeing them. So the jury's sitting there for no reason. So then, finally, we resumed on Monday. We came back to it. And they go in this whole week. This whole week has been about some incident that has to do with a car accident. And I have not even seen, I mean, maybe I missed it, but I don't even think they've tied Young Thug or any of the other defendants to this accident. I don't know why we're hearing about it. Today is Friday. There's another witness going on today because they missed so much time. They didn't start today until 1:30 p.m. The judge told them 12:30 start. I would be so irritated if I was a juror and I had to sit there an hour every day for doing nothing. Ooh, I'd be so mad. Anyhow, I don't understand the link. The whole week has been witnesses and cops who were part of this incident. So let's hear what they say. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on.
What's going on, bro?
Exactly.
Day 32 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial was baffling. State is trying to introduce a 911 call from 2013 where the caller says she heard from someone
Oh,
that
yeah.
Young Thug shot
So-
someone. Caller's lawyer
This whole period, like, this is over half a day, about a 911 call. And this woman calls it. She says, well, it's not an emergency, but my neighbor said that someone called Young Thug shot in her house. It was really weird. Like, it was hearsay on hearsay. and it violated the confrontation clause. And I was surprised, but the judge actually did not allow it. So I was pleasantly surprised.
To looking snazzy. I think the judge deferred his ruling on this. This is Captain Derek Page.
The mugshot that was taken at some point during the booking process when you booked into the Fulton County Jail.
Booking information of Huey.
May 26, 2018. This is just a side shot of his mugshot. Like I said, they take 2 different shots of the face.
I think Huey's the one that Young Thug had never met, which is weird. Like, how are you the leader of this gang and like they've never met? I know some gang leaders haven't met all their people because they're in prison or whatever, but it just, I don't know, it seems weird.
Peaceful shot is to the side. This is my way here shooting. This is the booking page for Mr. Jeffrey Williams. This is actually my first time seeing this right here.
Jack, the thing about foundation and speculation. So you've not seen this.
Wait, he's never seen this before? How is he testifying to this? Just
Crazy.
Because he has experience with booking people? He's never seen Doug's booking shit, but they're trying to show it to him on the stage.
Oh, I see. They're
So
testifying
this
to the
witness
mugshots
is
here.
essentially here to show
Okay,
a mugshot of Thug.
weird.
That's what's happening right now. To show the jury this mugshot of Young Thug.
Okay.
Comfort Break. This is a detective that was involved in the DK, Thug, and Adrian Bean incident. But DK is the only one that got charged for shooting at the cop, I think.
Responded to.
Okay. So I guess DK, Bean, and Thug were in this weird car accident, which we're about to hear. But it wasn't just a car accident, like there were gunfires, like a cop got shot or something.
The 2600 hate bill. It was aggravated assault. And prior to us responding to that call, I had ran into a suspect. I ran into a guy that I was familiar with in that area, from patrolling that area. I just had a little small conversation with him.
Earlier, before you responded to somebody else's apartment, you had saw another individual. Where did you see that person
At
at?
the gas station, there was a BP on the corner of Cleveland Avenue and Hateville.
And when you first saw the individual at the gas station, did you know him to be a suspect in anything when you first saw him at the gas station?
No.
All right.
The victim gave a description of a male that was involved in that incident. And when she gave the description, he fit the description of the gentleman I just spoke with prior to this incident
Okay.
in the same area.
Okay. It goes on to tell a story. Basically, there was a car accident. I don't know, this. He gets cross-examined. I don't know. Okay, so here's pictures of the scene. Like, somebody got hurt, then there's some accident. I don't know. And they saw people fleeing out of it. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's see if we can get any information. So this lady came on, and I'm telling you, it's been 4 days of this.
The front two wearing white shirts started to run from the car. Both I and Black got out of the vehicle. I began to run behind 2 fleeing suspects that jumped the gate when Black told me to come back and get the male suspect laying on the ground. I remember.
By the way, this is 10 years ago, this incident. Like, I find it exhausting that we're talking about things that happened 10 years ago. There really should be a statute of limitations on this. It's out of control.
The male had a tattoo on his face with the letter D.
This is Walter Murphy, the guy that she just said had a face tat, the letter D, I think, is what she was talking about, is this face tat right here. So this is them fleeing the scene, and they went like over off of like ledge and ran into the back of a building. Damn, so this is what they drove over. Cops were parked right here.
Okay, that was the accident I was talking about. So I guess they like flew over some cars, and I do believe that they messed some stuff up. Oh, there. Okay. So they flew through this fence over, oh no, maybe the cops weren't there, but over here, and then ran into this wall and fled the scene.
In that patrol car outside. When Fort Lauderdale got out of that red car, Cameron.
Who was inside?
You know who came?
What does that tell us, though, about, like, the furtherance of this gang? Like, what? That just tells us they were idiot kids. Like, this is 10 years ago. He was 22. I just don't understand this. And someone did get prosecuted on that crime. Like, someone else was prosecuted. They chose not to prosecute him at that time. So we are pretty much, at this point, left with pretty much all of the communications that are gang related being proven to be marketing, the art being proven to be marketing. Now we have this incident that happened 10 years ago and nobody did anything about it then, and so we're just bringing it up now. We had another incident that happened 10 years ago that nobody brought anything up then, and they're just bringing it up now. The kids this guy grew up with have all sold weed. That's it. That's all we have. Like, prosecution needs to get a move on here, because we are like 35, I think today is day 35. We are 10 weeks into having a jury sacked. We are a year and 2 months into the actual trial. And it's just too much. It's such a waste. Luckily, it's not my money. It's not my money. So I'm sorry, my friends in the state of Georgia. It's a real bummer. But you get what you vote for. All right, well, thanks for joining me. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me or if you couldn't see the screen. I really was like away from technology, and I kind of forgot how it all works. So I appreciate you for joining me. Make sure you hit like or subscribe, and we'll see you next time.